So for our controller, let's go ahead and create new class under the student package, and this will be called student and then controller. And in here, let's annotate this with @ and then rest controller, and then @ and then request and then mapping. And the request mapping for this will take the path, which is, so here I'm going to say path equals to, and then API v1 and then / and then students. So now that we have the request controller, so this gives us the ability to expose resources, so endpoints that the client can consume, and this is changing the URL, and you'll see this in a second. So now we can go ahead and create some API endpoints. So here, let's go ahead and create one which will return a list of students. So here, let's go ahead and say that we want to have a public, and then this will be a list. So we're going to return a list of students, just like that. And then I'm going to say get, and then all, and then students. And in here, what I'm going to do is, so just to make sure that this will work for you, so I'm going to say arrays dot and then as list, and then here I'm going to say new and then student. So I could actually use the list of, so this just makes sure that whether you're using Java 8 or Java 11 or Java 15, this will work. So now we have a new student that we have to create. So let me put this full screen. So I'm going to have ID of 1, and in here, if I press Command P, you can see that we can actually, this has to be 1L, and then name. So here, let's go ahead and say Jamila, and then here, this will be Jamila at Amigos code dot and then edu, and this is not an actual university, but you get in the point. So in fact, let's just say that, let's put this on a new line, and let me just remove this because this sometimes can be confusing. And let me just say do not inject, or actually do not show these hints. And there we go. And finally, we need to specify the gender. So the gender will be female, and just like that, and then end up with semicolon, and in here as well. And in fact, we don't have to end semicolon there. And what I'm going to do now is take this and then extract with variable, and you can see that I've used Command Shift and then V, Control Shift V for Windows, and this will be students. Now I can just say return and then students. So there we go. So we could actually do this inline, so inline variable, and we could do something like this, right? And also because we only have one student, this could be a singleton list, but let me go back because this is easy. So if we have another student in here, so let's just duplicate this and then add a comma and then paste that, and now we can say 2, and this will be Alex, and then this will be Alex, and then the gender will be, and then male. And there we go. So now in order for this to be exposed as an endpoint, we need to annotate this with @ and then get and then mapping. And it's as simple as this. So now that we have defined this controller in here, next let's go ahead and test it out.